Good morning or good evening, wherever you're at in the world. This is Mandy Perry coming to you live from my personal page, where I tend to be. Oh, I feel something brewing in my soul lately. I feel it all starting to bubble up. Maybe it's because of everything that has been going down or the massive growth that I've just gone through over the last 6 months, but I feel this bubbling coming up. I feel this familiar voice that I brought to the world and to the table that's coming back in a new strength and a new power, which feels really exciting. I'm sure you know what that feels like. Good morning, Phil. If you're brand new to me, please let me know. I'll come say hi to you and stalk you and see who you are and welcome you, and the tribe can welcome you as well. And if you're my people, say hello below. So this is what's been really coming through to me today in a really powerful way, I would say, over the last 2 weeks. And that message is really, I don't know that I've been, okay, here's an honest answer. Good morning, Gina. Or here's an honest thing that I'm going to tell you guys. My life was so horrific up until just a few years ago, like 5 years ago, that, like really bad. So when I started to thrive on any level, it was just so amazing. And it was really easy for me to feel grateful for it. It was really easy for me to feel like everything's amazing and happy. But upon reflection, I can look back and see now that my life is this incredible, like, wow, it took a lot of heart and a lot of grit and a lot of courage and a lot of staying in it and a lot of temper tantrums and a lot of crying fests and a lot of freaking out and a lot of calibration to get to where I'm at. And I've talked about it and was honest about it, but I think just because I was so grateful for how things were, that I didn't necessarily convey that as much as I would like to. And so the calling that I've been feeling lately is just like, let's talk about what it really, really looks like to go from 0 to 1.4 million in 3 years. Let's talk about what it really looks like to go from 0 to 500K in 1 year. Let's talk what it really looks like to scale my company at this level, being completely committed to doing it in a way that lights me up and is true to me without feeling the need to do it the ways that I know how to do it. Like, I know that way works. I'm so tempted to do it that way because I just want the result, and completely and absolutely being committed to releasing that. And so what it actually looks like is this. This is honest, okay? So if you're still here, or if you're still listening on the replay, if we're doing replay, #honest, let's be really honest with ourselves. There's a big difference. What I see most people, 1,000 people I've coached at this point, and my own pattern that I've watched through and had amazing support through. We want to, like, okay, this is my goal. let's just pick a number. Let's say 60K a month. I really want to hit that 60K a month. I just want to hit 60K a month, or I want to hit my first 10K a month, or I want to hit that 100K a month. We have this goal, whatever it is, or I want to get 5 new people in my program. I want 30 people to sign up at this launch, whatever the numbers are, right? This is my goal. Now I need to figure out how to do it. So how do I do it? So now I'm going to watch Mandy, and I'm going to see how she does it. And I'm going to watch this person and that person and see how all these people do it. And that's how their companies run. And that's how their launches. And that's what their brand kind of looks like. And that's the things they're teaching about. And this is what I teach about. And that worked and this didn't, and blah, blah, blah. And so we really go into this space, and I know you've heard it 7 million times, it's not about the how, but I'm about to break that down, because when people said to me, it's not about the how, I want to punch them in their face. Anybody else? When you're trying to figure out how to create the financial and time success that you really, really desire, and someone says to you, it's not about the how, do you want to punch them in the face? And be like, okay, fine. It's not about the how, but could you tell me how to anyways? And then I'll do what you say after you tell me how to do this. And I even had stories like, I thought people were just being lazy, like, you're just being lazy, or you don't really know, or you're just not paying attention to what I need, or something like that, right? And here's the big difference between allowing yourself to get stuck in the how and the energy of what it feels like. So the energy of, like, I want to hit that 60K a month, I want to hit that 10K a month. And let's pick another number. Neither one of those numbers feel good. Let's say 30K. Let's say my first 30K month. A lot of my clients are at that place. Okay, so I want to hit that 30K month, and and I want to know how to do it, and I'm doing all these things, and I'm learning, studying, and I'm trying to figure it out, which is what the ultimate how-to is. So basically, if you're wanting to know that, I'm going to teach you all of that in the ultimate how-to, but not the point. That's mandyperry.com/how-to. The doors close the end of this week. That is what that is, because it is nice to know the how. And also, that is not the energy that brings massive success. So of course, included in the ultimate how-to, I'm going to give away how to do everything, but I'm going to lock in the thing that matters the most. And what I want you guys to see today is the difference in the feeling and the energy of, I'm so committed to figuring this out. I'm going to do it until I'm going to try all these things. I'm going to try this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to try that. I'm going to try this, do this. Like, oh, one person signed up for this program. Like, oh, okay. Now I have to do it all over again. Like now I have to do that again, and I have to figure all this out again, and I have to figure out how to get more people. I have to figure out how to reach the next numbers. I have to figure out how to do the next thing. And it's exhausting. And why they're choosing to do it that way is because the other way is scarier. Yes, total punch in the face moment. The other way is scarier, but it's way less exhausting. So the other way looks like this. It looks like getting really clear, this is my goal, and then releasing the how. Now track with me for a second, don't get annoyed. Don't want to try to punch me in the face, right? And we get really clear what that end goal is. So what did we say? The end goal is 30K a month, okay? So that's my end goal. I want to hit a 30K month this month. I don't care if I've reached nothing before, right? Like welfare to 500K, time is completely irrelevant, right? Like I went from, I went from making $23,000 a month to 2 years later having an $81,000 day. Like time is not relevant, right? So we get really clear what the end goal is. And then we do the brave thing that everybody doesn't like to do. And instead of doing this, they go and they try to figure out how, and they throw money at shit, and they look for a magical pill. I just want this magical pill that's going to fix everything for me, right? And we don't realize we're doing that, but we're really kind of throwing money at shit looking for something that's going to be the magical pill, right? And so the other shift, the brave shift, the one that really will get you all the results, this is the thing why people say the how doesn't matter, is because we get clear what the end goal is, and then we decide to do it until. Like, what would that really look like if you were doing it until? Meaning, you can't get out of it. There's no not completing it. There's no failure because we don't stop until it's done. So there's no such thing as failing. So we don't have to worry about failing because failing doesn't exist. We release the time on when it has to happen and how it has to happen. And we get into the energy of like, okay, whatever's required for me to get to that place, I'm going to learn and I'm going to expand into and I'm going to season because I'm doing it until, which is a very different energy than, okay, this is my goal. Hopefully this works. I'm going to try a bunch of different things. I'm going to learn as much as I can. I'm going to figure out as much as I can. And I'm going to hope I do it by the time that I say I want it done. Completely different energy. In that energy, there's 1,000 ways that we could not follow through and we could not, it's like, well, I did my best. Well, I tried. Look, I did it. I sold it up until the day it started. Okay, well, what about doing it 2 weeks later? What about extending it? What about a million other things that would happen if we decide I'm just simply doing it until, and I feel called to this, right? Like, let's say it was the 30K. I feel the 30K is mine. Therefore, there's something inside of me that's in alignment with that. Something inside of me knows that that's mine and it's available for me, or we wouldn't feel it. Because you're not saying, I want to hit 30 million this month. That's not inside of you. You're not being called to that, but you're being called to the thing that you are being called to, whatever your goal is, which means it's available, which means all the mischief in between. So this is where I'm at. This is where I want to be. There's a gap in between. I know you've heard this. That gap is the stuff that we do the work to clean up so that you allow this to come to you because it's already there. And that's the thing I feel like most people don't understand. They feel like it will never happen unless I sort of figure out how to make it happen. No, not true. It's already happening. We just might be pushing it away and pushing it away and pushing it away. We just might be avoiding and avoiding and avoiding. We just might be not actually finally going both feet in. So the vision I sort of picture myself, right? Like I know a lot of people have heard my, like the vision I have of what the universe is. So like the universe is the source, like it's God, it's higher power, it's soul, it's whatever you know, resonates with you. And this amazing Balinese guy taught me like, there's only one, like I said, why are you letting me go in your temple when I worship my God and that's for your God? Like, why would you want me to go in your temple? I was so confused. And he said, oh, there's only one God. You're free to worship your God in this temple. Like whatever the God is, there's only one of them and you're allowed to just worship him, whatever that is and whatever you call it. And I was just like, I was so mind blown. Like it's such common sense without all the triggers and the rules of, you know, what's the word? Not dichotomy. the D word for whatever it is, without all that messiness, right? So, what was my point? That man taught me what love is. I just have so much admiration for him. Okay. What were we talking about? Somebody remind me. Drop back in. I have this man's like face and love all over me. I legit totally don't remember where we were. That's very rare that happens. Welcome to witnessing something that's very rare that happens. Usually it pops back. Okay, so let's just keep rolling. So the energy is we're releasing it and we're doing it until. So when we set the intention and tone, when we recognize like, hey, that thing that feels aligned for me, it feels like a match for me, I'm being called to that. That's mine. That belongs to me. It's there and it's available. And all I'm doing is doing the things to resist allowing that to be true. And so that's what coaches are, right? So when my clients come to me, I'm getting really clear. Where did they say they wanted to go? They said they wanted that. Okay. Now, does their behavior align with them getting to the thing that they wanted? And where do they quit? Where do they squirrel out? Where do the excuses come in? Where are they pushing away the very thing that they said they wanted? My daughter, right? Like we were in quarantine and everything just this morning, like welcome to, this is like how to create a multi-million-dollar business. This lesson I taught my daughter this morning. She wants to have this life full of exciting things and plans. And then yet when we sign her up for camps and she has plans, she's like, I want to stay home. I want to stay home. I want to stay home. But you said this is the life you wanted. So my job, honey, is to back you in creating the life you said you wanted. You said you wanted to have a life full of exciting things and plans and doing things all the time and being around other kids. So we're creating that life. And now your pattern, your resistance is coming in because what's familiar is sitting home because of quarantine. And now you don't want to go, but you're resisting the very life that you want. And there it is, available for you. There it is. There's a soccer camp. It starts at 9 o'clock. All your friends are there. It's available for you, but you're choosing to stay home. That's all we do. The thing that you desire isn't hard to get or figure out how to get to. It's not. So here's where you are. Here's where you want to be. Then there's a bunch of things in between that you're doing to push that away, to block it, to not allow it to just come through to you. Whether it's stories of worthiness or it's stories of how something has to get done or this habit of sitting there trying to figure out how to get it done, absorbing and reading everyone else's stuff besides creating your own content, having a story of like, who am I to help? And all these other people are doing it already and all these other stories that people have. And we go down that rabbit trail instead of doing the scary thing, which is like, well, if I was going both feet in, if I was completely committed to this, what would I do? If I knew I couldn't fail, if I trusted myself to stay stepping until I did this, until I broke through. If I trusted myself, would that investment be so scary? If I trusted myself, would hiring that team member be so overwhelming? If I trusted myself to follow through and hold space, well, like one of the biggest things that stops me is anytime I feel like I've not been the kind of human being that will take really good care of my clients. So if I see any evidence of my life that makes me feel like I might be messy and not hold an amazing space for my clients, or I might not be able to be present for them the way I want to, or to, bring really incredible content to them, or whatever it is. If I have any kind of mischief story that I might not be able to serve them the way I want to, I tend to come up with a lot of excuses as to why I shouldn't do the thing. So I know that about myself and I call myself out on that. Like, okay, Mandy, if you're going to launch this and hold the space, you need to know, like, can you say, okay, God, I promise you that I will show up and I will do everything I said I will do, and I will do it with love, and I will do it to the best of my ability. I will be present and I will take really good care of them. Like, you can trust me to take good care of them. Because if I can't say that to God, I'm not doing the offer. I'm not backing the offer. I will squirrel out. It'll sell slow. It'll fade out. It'll do whatever, because my value controls me. And my value is our exchange needs to be a value exchange, and I need to be present and give you the value that's expected in the exchange. And so I know that's just access to the way that I think. I don't need to do anything different than be who I am. People pay for access to how I think, because how I think gets me the results that I get. It's that simple. It's not complicated. Same is true for any other coach on the planet, or thought leader, or even teachers. Same thing, right? And so I know that, but I have to energetically feel really clear about that. Like, I have to feel like I can look God dead in the face and say, I got them. I got me and I got them. And what that looks like is not being perfect, because I would never sell anything, or I would never create anything if I thought I had to be perfect. But it does look like I trust myself that if I make a mistake, if I screw up, if I, let them down, if I don't keep a commitment, if I do something, I will look at it and I will make it right. And I will just keep going. I will always make it right. I will always fix it. I will always do the next right thing. All right, I was watching this TV show, Something Girl. Who's that girl? It's Jess. That girl, maybe? It's hilarious. It's so funny. But literally in there, someone was saying, there was this guy who was giving advice or whatever, and they're saying, or it was a song, and it was just like, do the next right thing, do the next right thing. And I was laughing. I was like, yeah, that's it. That's leadership. Do the next right thing. And just do the next right thing, and just do the next right thing. And when we can actually step into that, and we can trust ourselves to do that, now we're going to start moving in a completely different way. But all of that begins with us releasing the how, getting really clear what the end goal is, and actually shifting into the energy of doing it until. And what people don't like to hear, which I've spent an entire season of my life making sure that I believe this before I'm going to speak it, just because it was what I did, that wasn't enough for me. It was like, yeah, that's what I did to get here, but do I really believe that that is a principle, basically, right? Like a principle, not a should or have to, because nobody has to do anything and no end goal is required. But do I believe it's a principle? And I do. I really do, to the core of my belief. And that is, we must take action to back the until in a way that we cannot get out of it. You want to see massive power moves in your life. You want to see things start to transform. Boom. You want to see sonic booms go off in your life and just start calibrating every single area of your life. My fitness, my health, my relationship with my children and family and friends and fun and the income coming in and how I'm running and managing my team and the content I'm sending out and my relationship with my clients and like just boom, just sonic, just that just goes out. Instead of wasting your time trying to figure out how and being in the energy of I hope and let me see if this works and well, I tried my best and like, oh, I don't know, I'm doing everything, and like releasing that energy, getting clear what the end goal is and saying, I have no idea how I'm going to get there. Honestly, I literally have no idea how I'm going to do that. Whatever I've done in the past has not been enough to reach that goal. So I don't know. It's new levels of openness, new levels of creativity. It's new levels of becoming. So I don't know what it is, but that's the goal. And I'm going to do whatever it takes right now to lock in the path of walking from where I am to where I want to be. I've locked it in. So, I've told people this story before, but my first investment I ever made back when I was just coming off of welfare was a $24,000 investment that I had to pay $2,000 a month. And thank God I had to commit to that for an entire year. I had to commit to that for an entire year. I had no choice. Literally they would come after your house or come after whatever. Like you had to pay the money. So I had no choice but to learn the skill that I now hold space for my clients to walk through, right? When they want to quit, when the pressure's on, when, faith doesn't even begin until it's all not working. That's when faith begins. When it's working or looks like it might work out, there's no faith required, right? So it's being able to go into that space of now I don't have control. Everything I've known up until now, how to make it work, isn't the thing that makes this work. Like I did all those things and it's not working, or I did all those things and I have no idea, like those things won't get me where I want to go or what that end goal is. I really don't know how I'm going to make that happen. Okay. That is a really amazing place to be, because now you're on your path. If you can see the path, it's someone else's path, not your path. So when you're on your path, you can only see one step in front of you. And what I'm suggesting, my intention of this free content right here, is to call you to the place where you're considering doing something to put yourself in a place where you're completely committed and you cannot get out of it. You can't get out of it. Like I have no choice but to make that happen now. And here's the interesting thing. I have clients who there's different energies. There's I'm doing it until and I'll put it on my credit card. There's I'm doing it until and I'll pay cash for it. There's I'm doing it until and I have to go generate it wherever you are, in your life, and whatever the income is, it is what it is. But it's interesting to see how far people will let it go before they kick into the boom, now I'll make it happen. There's never a time in your life when crap really hit the fan and you didn't show up and handle it. When something really big or important was happening and you just didn't show up for it. You just let it go by the wayside forever and ever. That never happened. You procrastinated, you did this, you did that, you did it messily, you didn't do it perfectly, whatever you did, but you did it. When your back is up against the wall, truly, You always show up. You are that person. I already know that about you. You are one of the powerful leaders. You are one of the human beings who just always goes to that next level. You really actually do the work. You've pulled yourself through some hard stuff. You walk yourself through the storms. And when your back is up against the wall, you will show up at a whole new level you always have. Now, what's it going to take for you to get in that position where your back's up against the wall and now you're showing up at the new level? Does it feel comfortable to do that? No, it doesn't feel comfortable, but it doesn't feel comfortable to procrastinate and to try to figure out how for 6 months before you actually get to your goal either. So either way, you're going to be feeling the pressure and the tension and the uncomfortability because that's what life is when we're growing. Growing feels like growing. But we can intentionally put our backs up against the wall, which is an incredibly huge power move. So that looks like get really clear what my end goal is, release the freaking how, own that that's the goal that I want, and now what am I doing to put myself in a position where I can't get out of it? What am I doing to put myself in a position where I can't get out of it? What commitment am I making? How am I going both feet in? What am I doing and how am I doing it in a way where I cannot get out of this? I have no choice but to show up. I have put my back up against the wall. As the saying goes, I've taken my ships and gone to the island and then I burned the boats. Now I have no choice but to learn how to, survive on this island. I don't have a choice. I can't take the ship and crawl off because it got uncomfortable. I can't quit when I want to. I can't say, oh, well, I tried. I can't do all the things that I usually do in my life. And the areas where I don't have success, what are the same repeating habits and excuses and behaviors? And where are the places that I quit? And what do I push myself to and then sort of let it go? And what do I make up stories about what I'm not worthy to have? And what are the rules that come in or the shame or the guilt that comes in that stops me? And I just keep hitting this wall, right? Like, okay, that's what it is. How are you going to put your back up against a wall where you have no choice but to walk yourself through that? And let me just tell you, like you've already experienced in probably many other areas of your life, many different times, when you do walk yourself through the really hard spots, when you're in a position and it hurts and it's scary and you don't like it and you just want it to change and you just want to hurry up and get to that other place and you feel lonely or you feel scared or you feel powerless or you feel angry or you feel frustrated or you feel, shame or guilt or you feel confused or whatever that feeling is, and you breathe and you stay there. And you keep walking and you keep breathing and you keep noticing and you keep deciding and you keep choosing the next right thing. And you just continue to go without falling backwards and going all over the place. And you just stay steady, keep going. The reward on the other side is unimaginable. If somebody had told me that this would happen in my life just from doing that, committing to doing it until putting myself in a position I can't get out of it, and then walking myself through all the scary forest or whatever it feels like, and the beliefs and the stories and the excuses and the temper tantrums and the tears and all of the things, and I asked myself a question, Mandy, do you know that you're going to be successful at this? Well, yes. It just feels like I don't know when, and I don't know how long it's going to take, and I don't know what I need to do. Okay, but do you know you're going to be successful? Yes. Okay. Then why aren't you putting yourself in a position where you don't have any choice but to show up and follow through? Because that's what it takes. Because for most of us, if we don't have that, we're not going to see it through. We can tell ourselves, no, I'm the kind of, well, I don't know. Let's look at the result. The result in the area of your life where you want that next goal. That result. The result tells you everything. How long have you been wanting that result? How long has this been going on for? Are you playing it safe with what that result is? Are you playing a big enough game? Are you envisioning a really big game? Are you going for really amazing, incredible, impossible goals and allowing the impossible things to just come through your way? Are you allowing yourself to become that human being? Because that's what it really looks like. And on some level, I feel like I've been true to that message and walking that out and holding that space for my clients for sure in my coaching. But also I think it may appear like it was so much easier than it was because I was so damn grateful. Like it was genuine. Like I just am so happy and grateful. So you wouldn't know the incredibly hard things I walked myself through over and over and over, because even in the storm, when I was walking myself through those things, I have learned to become a human being who's like, woo, what's on the other side? I know something so good on the other side of this because this is hard. Like the harder it is, the bigger the reward. And I know that. So I have no problem like taking on some situations where I feel like, oh, a moment before now I would have crumbled under this pressure, but I'm strong enough to handle this now. And I know how to walk myself through this. And I trust myself to show up. I trust myself to keep doing the next right thing and the next right thing. I trust myself to be honest about that end goal and just do the hard thing, which is committing in a place where I can't get out of, to actually follow through with that and stop getting caught up in the analyzing, the trying to figure it out, the trying to study all the other people and all the the kind of stuff that we do instead of just doing the brave thing to put ourselves in a position where you can't get out of it. So in honor of that, I have opened up one-on-one coaching. So I have a couple different options. My intention is for it to be a month-long coaching with me where you get to decide in that coaching, like this is my intention for you, is for you to get really clear what it looks like for you to be completely committed in doing it until, and you're going to have the opportunity to opt into a year long with me. You're going to have the opportunity to like that. And that's what I did. And the same thing. I don't know how, I think with all the stuff going on in the world, I got my little rescue girl came out, like the little Jesus complex rescue girl came out a little bit because I had this story like, oh, doing a year long is too long for them. What? That's the very thing that got me to where I am. That's the one thing that supported me the absolute most on the planet. If I look back, it's like the level of temper tantrums and fits and craziness that was going on. I did it all and stayed in it because I didn't have a choice because I couldn't get out of it. So why would I not offer that to the other people who are just if not more powerful than me and are ready to show up that big in their life? So my intention is to lock in the month of getting really clear what that looks like for you, and or you can opt right into the year. So if you're feeling like I'm just completely, and yes, just let me know. Reach out to me, PM me, let me know where you're at, what your current struggle is, like what are you aware of? Like what is just, I want to know you. I want to know what you're really stuck with, what you're really feeling. I have walked myself through so many things. So many things. There's very few circumstances I haven't already walked myself through and have the honor of knowing the reward on the other side, and very predictable excuses, stories, limitations, guilt trips, all of those kind of things. Very predictable, actually. So I would love for you to just reach out, PM me. Please don't be the person who feels like, I'm not good enough, or Mandy's scary. I'm not. I'm loving. I have so many people like, oh, I'm so scared. I'm literally I was a girl on welfare 4 years ago who feels so tremendously blessed to have had the opportunity to be served in the way that I am holding space to serve you now. And it is honestly my honor to give any value that I can give. I'm not the kind of person who tries to convince you of jack shit. Nobody needs convincing. I don't carry people. I don't do your work for you. There's none of that convincing or codependency going on. It just is what it is. You want what you want. And when you understand this principle, what's going to happen is it's going to feel like I'm not ready. It's not time. I need more proof first. I need this and that. But you're going to feel something inside calling to you being like, I'm done. I'm done waiting. I'm done with wasting my time trying to figure it out and doing all these things and like really just doing all these things and having a sense inside like all of these things must not be required. Like I know there's a way to just show up in my power and really magnetize my people to me and create the results I'm looking for, making really big power moves. And in that space, we sort of have a sense of like, I'm not playing a big game. We're holding back a little bit. We're dabbling. We're trying to be inclusive of things. And we're not really just crystal clear, like, this is who I am, this is what I'm here to do, and these are my power moves, and this is the work and excuses and bullshit that stop me. This is the ways that I quit. This is the ways I hold myself small. This is the places and the spaces where I sort of design my life to give myself an out. Like all the times that we say, we'll see, or I'm not too sure, let me get back to you, or I'll try to get that done, I'll try to do that, or put it on the do list, or I'll do that tomorrow. It's that space right there. Right? That's the space we're going to be honing into. And then you get to decide if you want to do the month with me, if you want to lock into that year, it doesn't matter. But either way, PM me, let me know where you're at, what the current struggle is, what is the vision and the goal that you long to have. And I'm going to serve you. And if it feels good for you to move forward, then you get to move forward. But either way, I'm going to help you have some really big awakenings. And it's just my intention to serve you and help you break through this because the world needs you. The world needs you. That's not like a platitude. You know it. The world needs you. You have a voice and a powerful message. You are an incredible human being who has walked through some incredible things. And the love and the wisdom, we're not going to take our wisdom for granted anymore. We're not going to pretend we're not worthy to show up and serve other people. That's not even a real thing. What is that, right? Like service does not require us to be something other than what we are. It requires a willingness and an inclination to serve and to expand the planet. And the world really needs you and your voice in this time. And you were born at this time with all of this stuff going on right now. You were meant to be here right now. What an honor it is to be a leader during this time right now with everything going on. You were meant to be here right now with your voice exactly where you are. You were meant to be here on this live training. It was always meant to be right now. It never was supposed to look any different than it does. This is always what it was going to look like. This was always when it was going to be the breakthrough moment. This is always when it was going to be the next level moment. This is always when it was going to be the expansive moment. You weren't ready until now. This is always what it was meant to be, and all your visions are still on track. Everything's exactly on track where it's meant to be. And if you're feeling that call to really step in and lock this in and be in the energy of doing it until, and yeah, I'm not going to lie to you, it's not comfortable, and you're probably going to Voxer me and have temper tantrums or tell me all the reasons why you should quit, and I'm going to love you right through those, because I've walked through those many times myself and continue to walk myself through those at the next levels that I go to consistently. And it's definitely the heart of success. The heart of success is your ability to do it until. The heart of success is your ability to show up now. Because all we have is right now. There is no other time. There's no other time when it will be easier for you to commit to do it until. Either you commit to do it until right now, or you don't ever commit to do it until. Evidence would suggest if I can't do it now, it only gets harder, because either you're going to keep procrastinating on committing to do it until, or you're going to commit to do it until. Because tomorrow when you wake up and you need to commit to do it until, it's going to feel just like it did today, except for you're going to have some momentum on avoiding that. And then in a week, when you want to commit to do it until, you're going to have a week's worth of momentum avoiding doing it until. So now you have neural pathways built in your brain. Now you actually have momentum towards not committing to doing it until. And what are you going to do instead? You're going to study, you're going to contemplate, you're going to try to figure out why, you're going to analyze things, you're going to try a whole bunch of things, you're going to look for the things that seem like it's going to fix everything. That's the stuff we do instead. And then time is wasted and wasted. I'm the expert at helping people do it simply, helping people believe in their worth to be able to show up and give what they have to give now, and making the money right now as we become who we become. That's just sort of what I do, right? But the way that I do it is everything we're talking about right now. The way that I do it is by really helping people understand, like, look, it's right now. Like it's now. What evidence and proof are we looking for? It's not coming. There is no evidence and proof. It was always meant to be right now. So what does that look like for you? Does my voice resonate? Have you been wanting to do one-on-one coaching with me? PM me. Does it look like, hiring that person? Does it look like launching that program? What does it look like for you? But just together, let's do this, because I'm calling myself to this too, for sure, right? Let's tell the truth. Let's tell the truth about what we really feel, that nudge for, that desire for, that like, holy crap, that's the thing I would have to become a different human to make work. Not the thing that seems a little bit easy, because if you choose the good, you're just always going to have good. We got to choose great. We have to actually opt into this life. It doesn't just happen. You have to opt into it. You have to choose into it, which takes active action. You have to do something to opt into this life, right? And it's not something we can do solo, because as Einstein taught us, the same mind that got us where we are can't get us out of it, right? Something has to change in the mind, in the thinking, in the belief systems, in the what we wake up to, right? Like I wake up to a life where like, holy crap, I can't believe I made that commitment yesterday. Now is the day that I show up as that human being. Like, I kept saying I wanted to wake up and go to the gym, and I wanted to do this thing in the morning, and I wanted to have the schedule. Like either you're doing it today or you're never doing it. And we need to stop lying to ourselves that tomorrow's ever coming, that later's ever coming, that I'm not sure, I'll try is ever going to get us the thing that we want. It doesn't. It never will. Ever. It never will. The illusion that it's coming if I just keep doing, no, none of that's happening. The reason I avoid saying this so directly is because it feels like scarcity, but it's not scarcity. It's truth telling. We know the truth when we hear it. That thing that we keep saying I'm going to get to, no, you're not. You're going to keep saying I'm going to get to it. Right? And I know everybody's capable of having this life, period, end of story. Financial freedom, time freedom, really giving your gifts and your service to the planet and the world, letting yourself be seen and heard so the people that are meant to be with you can find you, taking it all to the next level, having that big vision and that big dream, and stop playing small and acting like, well, because I'm already crushing it, making 50K months, I should just sort of, keep doing what I'm doing and managing and doing. No. Now, how are we going to 10x that? How are you doubling your income this month? This month, how are you doubling your income? What's your big vision? What's your big game? How are we showing up big? Because that's just evidence of how much we're serving. And there's so much more available for us. We are playing such small games. Such small games. And it's time for us to play a big game. It's time for us to do it right now. And it's time for us to put ourselves in a position where we don't have a choice but to show up and make the thing happen. Like, you don't have a choice. When you wake up to that life, yes, you're gonna have a temper fit, and you're gonna get all the rewards on the other side. And living Groundhog Day, where we just keep telling ourselves, I'll do it, I'll get to it, yep, tomorrow, I'll start, I'll begin, I'll do it at lunch, I'll do it then, whenever, I need proof first, after I get these clients. You know, that's another thing. I have clients who will say to me like, oh, what's the common one? Like, okay, I'm just gonna think about it, or I'm gonna wait until I hit my first, 10K month, or I'm gonna wait until I'm done with this training with another coach, or I'm gonna wait until blah, 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 blah. Like, it's fine. There's no rules. There's no rules. And I really do trust people to know what's right for them. I hold people as fully capable of knowing what's right for them, but I hold people as fully capable of not bullshitting themselves either. So if you're the kind of person who keeps waiting, if you are looking to make an investment with a mentor, this is like just a really great example, okay? So if I want to, let's say, charge 10K for a program, but I've never paid 10K for a program, there's no way I'm holding space for that. There's no way, right? And so it really just looks like if you want to be the person who has clients who come to you and is like, boom, I'm ready, I'm showing up, you be the client who says, boom, I'm ready, I'm showing up. And whatever it is that you desire, the type of client to come to you, or the type of human beings to be in your life, or the type of experiences that you have in life, first you embody it, first you do it, first you become it, first you actually walk it out yourself. You become that, and then naturally like attracts like, this, right? This is fundamental law. Like attracts like. So if you're avoiding and pushing off and starting and stopping and, being wishy-washy, and you're not committing and following through and seeking out your own mentorship and taking brave action and backing yourself to the nth degree, doing it until putting yourself in a position where you can't turn out of, absolutely committing, being decisive, those are the kind of things that we start doing, those kind of things, and then we start attracting those kind of things, right? As we become, there's just an equal and opposite match, right? Physics, right? Equal and opposite match. As you become, you will draw that in. So instead of trying to learn and figure out how I can get to those next clients, you can just literally throw all that in the trash and just be like completely free. And then you just ask yourself, if what I want is clients to show up who are fully committed, who are fully in, who are taking brave risks, who are backing themselves, showing up and do the work, I simply just be that client first. I just be that client. If you want people to blow up on your social media feed, blow up other people's social media feed, and then your clients will do the same. If you want your clients to shout you from the rooftops, shout your mentors from the rooftops, right? Mine was backwards. Like, first I had to break through the pattern of like, if I tell people who my mentors are, nobody will coach with me. They'll all go to my mentors. And I remember saying that to one of my mentors, Kat, and she was like, well, if you believe that, that's what will happen. I was like, damn, it's so true. I cleaned that up. And then all of a sudden I saw this beautiful array of just like everybody coaching with everyone. And I have clients who are also, peers of mine in other mentor programs. And I have coaches who become clients, and it's all just mixed together. It's so beautiful, right? When we release the how and we just commit to doing it until, the rest of it will work out, because you in that space will become the human that it always took in order to make it happen. That's the whole point, that you become. You want to know how to make it happen? Become the human being who makes it happen. Become the human being. Do you want to know the fastest way to become the human being who makes it happen? Put yourself in a circumstance you can't get out of, that you have no choice but to show up for. There's no out. There's no excuse. There's no nothing. Get people around you who know your excuses, who know the places that you quit and all the things that you use in order to hold back and play small, and let them lovingly call you out on that, and watch the magic that happens. Watch the rapid magic that happens. And we're not attached to when and how. We just know we're doing it until. And that energy clears everything. Everything. It also stirs up every single fear. Do you know what I mean? And it is what it is, and it's totally fine. Okay, so I do have somewhat limiting spots for the one-on-one, so I'm just going to do first come, first serve. If you're interested, just PM me and just let me know where you're at. Just lay it on me. Where are you at? What are you frustrated? Where are you trying to go? What are you just like, I'm doing this until? What's the thing you're doing it until? And what do you know up until now has been stopping you? And what do you know that you need in order to be fully committed to achieving and getting to that place, getting to that space? And for those of you who are anything like me, I'm just going to say this bluntly. It's not a sales pitch. I don't need you to be my client, right? I love you. I would love to. It's my honor to hold space for you, but I don't need it. And it's not a sales pitch. I'm being so honest with you. And I think somewhere inside we can feel that. We can feel the difference between being committed until and really actually taking massive action to put both feet there. Like you draw a line in the sand, this is the old life and the old results. And I literally am walking across that into this new space that I cannot return from. And that becomes the new world. It is what it is. It can't fail. It cannot fail. Do you see what I'm saying? When you do it until, you cannot, there is no failure. Fear of failure is no longer existing in this world. It's not a real thing. Now we can work on, faith and what it takes to stay in faith through the tough storm, and how do you lead yourself through the hard moments, and, and expanding into the creativity that's going to help you to come up with a new level of things. All the things that come in the new world, that's our work. But there is no more old world. There is no failure. It just doesn't exist. It's not a real thing. There is no failing. That's it. That excuse is gone. That whole world fell off this planet. Like half of the planet just fell away. And that's the way it is. So if this resonates with you, simply PM me. I can't wait to get started with the new clients. And I love you very much. And if you have any questions or comments about this, feel free to ask anything, because it's my intention for anybody who's willing to lose the entitlement or the ego or the whatever the thing is, the fear, whatever phase we're in, it tends to be a different thing, and we're ready to step into our true power, because that's what we're here to do. We do it because we'll be taken care of because we do it, right? But we do it because it's who we are. So if you're ready to step in and do it until, PM me, okay? I love you guys very much. Have an amazing day. If you're in the elite membership tonight, I'm telling my story for the very first time. I'm a little bit nervous about it, but we'll be doing that tonight, 6 p.m. So if you haven't heard about the elite membership, it's daily Zoom calls every single morning, locking into brave, courageous action. And that's mandyperry.com/elite. And the ultimate how-to I mentioned in the beginning closes at the end of this week. That's mandyperry.com/how-to. And then there's the one-on-one coaching with me, and you can PM me for that, okay? I love you guys. Have an amazing day.